In this video, I want to talk about a question that I get often from my subscribers, and that question kind of revolves around the ability to work in the United States, especially as a foreign student or as a foreigner. To give you a quick background about myself, I am originally from Nigeria. I came to the States back in 2010. So I was a student, went through flight training, became an instructor, went through grad school, and I went through the process of just, what majority of the people watching my video have gone through or will go through. But along the way, I got sponsored to be able to get a permanent resident through a family member. Now, I know not a lot of people would have that available to them, but in this video, I want to share some of the options that are available that could be available to you. But I'm not an immigration expert, so I would always urge that you consult an immigration expert, a lawyer, someone that knows more details about this. So let me read the question to you. I'm not going to read everything, but is a 21-year-old that is in the second grade aerospace engineering student somewhere in Europe, is got some aeronautical experience, and is trying to get started in the United States if he chooses to continue with that process anyway. And it says, this question is, if I do not finish my aerospace engineering bachelor and I go directly to flight academy for commercial pilot, what are the chances of being hired in a regional? Let's start with the first part. If I do not finish my aerospace engineering bachelor and it goes directly to flight academy for commercial pilot. Now, what I don't understand is there any reason why you don't want to finish that aerospace engineering bachelor degree program? In my opinion, I would say you're already in your second year. Why don't you just finish it and knock it out of the way? A degree is not required, but it's definitely beneficial to you. With that said, being hired in a regional, let's talk about the requirements to get hired in the United States. The first thing that they always say is you must be a permanent resident or a citizen and must be eligible to work in the United States. In order to become a citizen, you either have to be sponsored, you must have either spent some time in the United States legally, and maybe be born in the United States. The other option is to get a permanent residence, which that is generally what a lot of people get first, either through family member as well, or through a job, or maybe a business. As a pilot, what type of visas are available to us? Let's start with that, because now we know that, let's assume you're not a citizen and you don't have a permanent residence. So what visas can give you some of these options, like at least maybe a permanent resident to start with? We have three types of visas that are available. Now, these three visas are very controversial in a way because for some reason, since they took away the requirement to have a bachelor's degree in the aviation industry, it has actually made these visas not applicable to majority of the people. Back in the time when bachelor's degree was required, this type of visas could be used. And I'm not going to say that you can't use them now, but you just need to be able to prove your case, and it can be difficult. But let me get into it. The EB3 visa. This, it says here, it's employment-based immigration, third preference EB3, and it says it's for skilled workers, all right? And the eligibility criteria, the evidence, it says you must be able to demonstrate that you possess at least 2 years of job experience, education, or training that meets the job requirements specified on the labor certification. And then at the bottom here, it says you must be performing work for which qualified workers are not available in the United States. I think those first set of evidences that you need can be easily met. But when it comes down to the professionals, because in this case, what part does the pilot fall? A pilot can either fall under the skilled workers or maybe under the professionals. But if you have taken away the bachelor's degree requirement, you cannot use the professional side of it, because it says here the job must require that you have a bachelor's degree, which we know that as a pilot in the United States, that is no longer a requirement. As a skilled worker, maybe you can use that as a skilled worker to present your case. But as you can also see, it says you must be able to demonstrate that you possess at least 2 years of job experience, education, or training that meets the job requirements specified on the labor certification. That is something that a lawyer will be able to look into to help you. I cannot really help with that, but that is one option. The other option of type of visa that can qualify you for permanent resident is the H-1B document, or maybe a ability to work. Let me use that word, all right? Provide you with a green card to work is the H-1B, and it can say specialty occupations. But under this visa as well, it requires that you show, and I think it says here, that you show that the occupation requires a attainment of a bachelor's degree or higher in the specific specialty. as a minimum for entry into the occupation in the United States. Now, this H-1B used to be one of the options that I guess was available back in time based on what I've read, but maybe a lawyer can still use it. I do not know, but it's an option as well. The last one is the E3, which is used by Australians. I've seen at least 2 people use this. If you're a national or if you're a citizen of Australia, then you may be able to use this option as well. But those are the 3 visa options that you can always apply to and legally get a permanent work authorization in the United States. All of these 3 options require that you have a job. That means the job must be willing to do the work for you. And that brings me to my next point. When it comes down to training in the United States, I want you to understand that I will not discourage you from coming to the States to train, because I know that the opportunities are there for aviators, pilots in general. It's just that you have to get over that ordeal of qualifying to work. Once you can get over that, then you have lots of opportunities to work, to fly and all. So I won't discourage you. But one thing I want you to understand also is that in as much as these things may look complicated, which it is, no doubt about it, you also need to understand that when you come here and you are in the process, you can always see the options available to you. That's just the honest truth about it, because when I was looking at it before I started training as well, it was very complicated. It was way over my head, top of my head actually. And I didn't even want to pursue it. But something just told me, you know what? When you take the first step, you can see the next logical step for you to take. But if you don't take that first step, you wouldn't even see the 5 steps ahead of you. You wouldn't see those things, and you would get discouraged and you quit and not even start. So if you truly want to pursue, coming to the States to work in the United States, I would say at least start by getting the training first, start by getting the ratings. And then along the way, you can make the necessary choices and make the necessary decisions that will align with what you're looking for. So I hope this kind of helps you. I hope that I've been able to kind of give you some valuable information. If you have, please don't forget to drop a like on this video. I would love to see that you guys found value in this, because again, these are things that I get asked these questions a lot, and I hope that if you have questions, please don't forget to drop it below and I'll answer them when I can.